right. Monica, hello.
Hello.
Usually it's just me. Today I have, I've dragged a person along into this video. Do you want to be here? Tell everyone the truth.
I want to be, but I am a shy person.
Okay.
I'm a little camera shy, so it is making me a little nervous.
Who are you, by the way?
I'm Monica.
Okay. What role do you play in my life?
Oh. I am Tyler's romantic partner.
Wow. Roommate?
Romantic. But I'm specifying that because at times I would say he's my partner, and I was like, oh, business partner.
Understand. Yeah, and I get sort of screwed up because I say partner, and then even if I specify Indian, I also have Vatsal as my business partner, and so people are very confused sometimes.
Yeah.
Vatsal is my business partner. Monica is my life partner. I love her. You've also got a fur ball in the back. He's not that furry anymore, though. He got a brutal haircut and looks like a rat.
Yeah.
And this is much different than the normal videos that I create, which is usually just me ranting. You've seen it. It's done okay. It's done okay to date. But in this video, I want to talk about how to prepare for your first trip to India. And that's sort of the idea of the video here. I am playing the amateur in this video because I haven't done this trip yet. Monica is a little bit more of the veteran.
Yep.
We have a couple sort of prompt questions here, and hopefully we just have a fun conversation that is also somewhat insightful. We'll share a little bit about why are we going to India, how long are we going to go, the flight, all the good stuff that maybe people have questions on, and hopefully that is valuable to you. So Monica, tell us about misconceptions that I may have or people who haven't been to India have. You have any ones top of mind?
Misconceptions. I mean, there are a lot, and it's just like it, and some of them might be true for some of the regions, but India is so huge and diverse, and you would go with those like, oh, this is how people talk, and then you're in a region, you end up in a state which is completely different, have a different culture, that there's a different way they talk to each other. So it might be true for some of the certain regions and some people you've seen, but it's not applicable to the rest of the India. So that's, you've just seen one Punjabi guy or one person from South India, so don't assume that's all India. There is, a common thread that ties us all together. But definitely, don't expect everybody to be the same.
Yeah.
Other misconceptions. You tell me what prejudice you have.
Prejudice, yeah, great word for it. What racism do I contain inside me?
And I'll try to break it down if it's true or not.
No, I think so culturally, growing up in Canada, I've told you this many times, but my first interaction with India was literally Slumdog Millionaire, the movie, and so a lot of us actually built our understanding of India based on that. And then I think generally in culture here or in media, it's represented as a lot of people. That's one of obviously the big 1 billion of people, plus people, 1 billion.
I think we're going to surpass China in April.
That's so crazy. So that, the one video we just watched recently, which is a little bit of the chaos, the chaotic of the driving, that the population sort of brings, but then I would say not misconceptions, but more the positive thing that we've seen lately is an incredible population who is young and growing in education and super ambitious and technical at work. So I think there's a huge positive reputation and sort of cultural representation of India coming out, but I think then more growing up was the population, the poverty,
the third world, all those things. And Slumdog Millionaire is true, and I would go back to the same comment that I made earlier. It's it's specific to one region. There is a region in Mumbai, world's biggest slum.
Yeah.
But the other India, it's completely different. It's like it's even more modern than things you would see here in Canada. Like so I live in Delhi, and if you go to Gurgaon, that's like another hub where most of the educated, newly young, talented people work. And it's a complete, it has tall rise buildings. They have the same infrastructure as you have here. So there's those sides. They exist in some places and they do not in some. But yes, if you talk about Delhi, there is a lot of people. It's the capital, and people migrate to that place in search of new jobs and opportunities every day. Every single day, there's more people coming in. And once you I think I've said this to you before, but it just imagine all of Canada's population in this pinpointed, half of that.
Yes,
in all of Canada's population in Toronto. Just imagine. So it's pure chaos. You just cannot, I just can't even begin to, how can you bring some structure to that? So that happens. But yeah, to your second point, it is true. I think there are some of the new stuff that's coming out is sort of doing a little bit of justice. Slumdog Millionaire was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And now we have, Raj from Big Bang Theory happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's the new India is sort of that. I would say if the youth is hungry. They want to develop. They want to it's heavy influence from West.
Yeah.
Me including. I was I grew up watching Hollywood movies and shows, and it just attracted me, and that's what I aimed for that life.
I would even, it's not probably fully accurate, but I maybe the new representation for me of India is Hassan Minhaj. You know what I mean? Sharp, funny, just super clean. I don't know. And a lot of people that I've now had the privilege to meet who are from India or connected to you are I don't know, just are breaking the sort of cultural stereotypes that were really prevalent not that long ago.
At least trying to break in, or at least trying to, because we've been in that cocoon. And then there's opposite side of that. There's some people which are holding tight, holding them onto their dear life to keep their values, but then there are other people who just want to break out of it and then just normalize a lot of things which were not normalized and stigmatized. And especially as a woman, I just felt there's a room for Indian people to be more accommodating and understanding. So the youth is definitely moving towards that. Not all of it. I'll go back again. It's there's two sides to it. There are some people, holding on. It's this is our culture. This is us. We're Indian. We have been on the map for so long, and we need to preserve it. But majority, I would say, they want to develop. They want to grow out of that mindset. Still keep some of those values, because that's what distinguishes us on the map and the whole. And most of them are really good values to hold on to. But still a lot of room for growth, I would say.
And if you, if Monica ever decides that she would come back and do more videos, I hope that there's an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the journey from India to Canada and what that's like. And I think there's I consider Monica just this beautiful, brave, courageous person who made this journey with not really that much sort of support around her to come to Canada. And it's been really inspiring for me. And so I hope, as long as anyone who watches this video treats her nicely, that she'll come back and talk about that at some point. I guess I have never done just a couple of sort of not technical things, but more nitty gritty of I have never done a flight this long. You have gone there back. You've done twice now, right? So can you give us some insights on the flight, the journey from either way, the length, how you feel about it, any things to prepare for that flight?
It's dreadful. It's a 20, if you do a direct flight, then the flight is 16 hours. So you're going to have to be airport 3 hours before, and then the packing that,
the whole day.
The whole day, and then you land there, it's going to take some time. So you basically lose a day, and then add the time zone conversion. So you basically lose 2 days just in traveling, and that's with with your direct flight or maybe an hour or 2 hour layover. But if you go over than that, like you could be like, and then on top of that add the jet lag, so it takes you a week at least to just reset. Like it's so you can never, like when you're planning a trip this huge and into a completely different time zone, you're just gonna have to make sure that you're counting those days which you're gonna lose in that transition.
Is there one way that's worse? Is it worse going from India to Canada or Canada?
It is worse because like you're losing time. So like just like our flight is on the 14th. We leave in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Mostly early morning. We'll leave here from early morning and then we reach on the 15th evening night. So we've lost 2 days. But on way back, you gain a day.
Yeah, you're in the future coming back.
Exactly.
And we talked to your family on New Year's, and they were celebrating New Year's quite a bit earlier than us, right? So there's that idea. Yeah. They're like a day ahead, basically. 11 hours.
Half
so 11
a day.
11 hours?
11
hours.
11 hours. And it changes during daylight savings. So I think we lose an hour or gain an hour. I would never remember that. It's just like I had to do the math as it happens. But yeah, coming back to the flight, it's a long flight. And if you travel economy, you're just sitting. You're just going to have to move. And yeah.
An economy already is fairly expensive for most people. $2,500.
Oh my God, exactly. Yeah. Like because of the distance.
Of
the distance. It's like the cheapest you could go is round trip is $2,500.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's the cheapest. And yeah, that's the worst part of traveling.
So this is not a sponsored video. One day maybe. But what United Arab Emirates is what?
Emirates.
United Emirates. Whatever.
It's not United. It's just Emirates.
Just Emirates. Oh, all right. Sorry. Cut it out. No one's cutting this out. But we were going to take Air India. Air
Canada.
Air Canada, and then there was India.
There's Air India as well.
Air India, and both were like, don't, a lot of recommendations not to do that.
Yeah. So find a good flight because 16 hours, 20 hours. You don't want to be in a bad situation.
And so we're doing like a Saturday. I still don't even know when we leave. I should know that. Sometime in the afternoon, I think. Yeah. It makes no difference in this time, but like I generally like the idea of traveling on the weekends so that you're having like a full week in some place. But obviously that's being sort of, we're going to be pretty late on Sunday by the sort of the time that we get there. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, there's many things that we could talk about here. Let me look at the old questions. I guess one thing I'll talk about quickly was this goddamn visa process that I would like to complain about just quickly if you give me the time. So if you are Canada, if you're Canadian, you need to get a visa to go to India. And at the time that I had done it, what happened? There was some farmers' protests in India. Justin Trudeau got involved, said he didn't like the farmers' protests, and Modi shut down the e-visa. So the e-visa was like the very sort of so this is BL International. India has just outsourced everything to them, so they're the ones managing this entire process. Trudeau said something, and also like Canada's not doing a very good job processing Indian immigrants, and so that's why Modi was mad.
I think that's the main reason. Obviously, there's tension between the leaders of the two countries, but I think main reason was that it said in the description that they were reciprocating what Canadians are doing, so they're probably making it difficult for Indian people to come here. So I love complaining. Just do it for a quick second, but also just as a guide. So I'll link this in the YouTube video and on the page that this is. So this is if you are a Canadian trying to travel. I think even if you're from anywhere, maybe you're dealing with BLS International, and you have sort of an option to do visas. And for me, I did. Entry visa, and there was the option. Tourist visa? Yeah, you're right. Damn it, God, I'm giving false information. Basically, there was two options. There was e-visa, which was disallowed, and then there was a postal or walk-in, and there was a lot of sort of fear happening because people's the time to process those visas was going up a lot. So it went from 2 weeks to 45 days.
we saw some people complaining on on national news. They reinstated the e-visa part through. So if you're Canadian, you now can access the e-visa, which makes this process a lot easier. My process was not that. It was paying $30 to ship it in the visa and then ship it back through Pure later. So $60 in total. And in that process, it got lost and just sat in the BLS internationals for since December 9th to just 2 days ago. Yeah, almost a month. And and if you're trying to call those people, not the easiest thing to do, but if you are trying to call BLS, what Monica helped me figure out was you just got to call before 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and abuse that phone number until someone picks up. And then they were nice people. They helped out. So
they helped.
They helped.
Yeah, but remember, they're hard to reach.
Yes, hard to reach and
hard to get any information. The support ticket was sitting on.
Yeah.
But in their defense, if I may, it was holidays. It was the holidays.
Yeah. It was holidays. There's a lot going on and a huge demand for visas right now because it's the first time a lot of people are traveling, including you. Yeah. This is the first time you've gone back since
3 years.
3 years.
Yep.
How does that make you feel?
Overwhelmed. It's been a while, and it just looks like it's gonna be different. Family hopefully is the same.
I hope so too. Yeah. So I guess why are we going back? Besides the 3 years, what's going on? Do you have anything that you want to share about that?
Yes. We're going back. I am going back to see my family after 3 years because I'm Indian. I'm from Delhi. We didn't mention that. And there's a special reason to introduce you to the family. So Tyler is going to be brown boy when he comes back.
Spiritually, mentally, physically.
If he's accepted in the family.
If not, you're going to see a lot more lonely videos from me. So might not even be in this house. I'm just going to be in a cardboard box.
What else? My sister, my younger sister, she's found somebody and she's deciding to take the next step, and there might be a wedding. So
okay. And we've got this.
And we're traveling.
Exactly. And
so
and that was one of the things sort of that you talked about, like the length of the flight, and so because the flight is so long, it's not worth it to spend 2 weeks there. It's so we're actually spending 50 days in India because 50 days might be a little extreme, but a short period, it'd be horrible, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing a week in India, that's a very tough week if you're going back.
Because if you're flying that far, might as well use it to the fullest. And India is huge, and I am from Delhi, and I haven't seen most of it. I lived most of my life in the north, and I've traveled maybe a little further up north. But I just thought that would be a great opportunity to introduce you to the family, and then also explore India together. So we're gonna travel to some beautiful places that I've never been before. And
once you've made that sort of journey there, you can have a pretty awesome trip for relatively low expenses. After you pay for the flight, right?
Yeah.
So
for the countries in the West, Canadian dollar, US dollar, the conversion ends up 50 times, 70 times for US. So it does enables you to afford a relatively good experience in cheap.
Do you want to give us a little bit of this flight path or what the journey here? I got the map pulled up on the, and then I actually have some pictures too.
Well, so we're gonna land in the capital, New Delhi. That's where I'm from. That's where my family is, and we're gonna spend a week with the family. And after that, we're traveling down south.
Pretty far.
To Kerala.
Oh, I'm going even farther than that.
Oh,
God. Oh, wow.
Kochi. Yeah. So right down south towards the west coast. We traveled to Kochi.
I didn't do just Kochi. I did Kerala. I typed in Kerala, basically. Kerala. So we're going actually specifically to... We were going to go down to Alappuzha.
Alleppey.
And we ended up going to...
It's
a little higher up, right?
Kuma.
Yeah, Kumakran. Oh, here we are. Yeah, so we're going here.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to go see, I guess, the backwaters.
In Kerala.
But the way that we were looking, it was sort of, we were having a little bit of tough time planning that out. And then that also, Alapi was very sort of a touristy destination. So one of the things that's like the big part of that is like the houseboats. But they said specifically during this time that it would be like really loud motors, a lot of people. And so if you're on the river, you're going to be on the river with like all these other houseboats just going down it. And so we went a little bit towards...
Yeah, a little away from the more tourist specific places, so it's going to be a little less crowded.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
we found a really nice, beautiful accommodation just by the backwater, which was...
Yeah, and they've got like super, I mean, I'm super excited about this. I think one of our more anticipated spots. Also, like down south from like I guess not a history standpoint, but our sort of... I don't even know how to describe this, but like the South Indian, the I don't want to say this. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I know what you're trying to say, but yeah, South Indian and North Indian are like, we're still Indian, but still have the same history, but there's a lot of differences that are easily identifiable. And I don't know where exactly to begin, like what the differences are. But North, North, I would say, was like at the center of the Silk Road. So a lot of traveling and merging and that happened. So North has a lot of influence from northern countries, like from Afghanistan, Pakistan, and a lot of mixing. South, I would say, is quite preserved. I mean, the Portuguese did land. Yeah, the Portuguese did land on, the west coast in Goa. There's all that colonization, like the tea plantation. Yeah, it's a plantation. Right? So that also happened, but South, I would say, has more like feature-wise, people are fairer and would have resemblance to people from Afghanistan and even if you go northeast, the physical features are similar to that of the Chinese and the Japanese, like that. So it's like we have such like diverse, even physical appearance, culture, language,
different
food.
Language. What, Tamil?
Yeah, each state has its own unique flavor. Kerala has Malayalam, maybe that's the language. I don't know. Hey, there's so many states. There's a lot going on. Remember. Yeah.
And also, generally, I think more sort of meat friendly than other parts of India. So like a lot of people talk about like the food. If you like meat and fish and things, like Kerala is like an amazing place to go because you can get all these like amazing sort of meat dishes. So I'm a meat eater. You know what? I eat mostly vegetarian, but I do eat meat. And like something about like because you're vegetarian and we cook mostly curries vegetarian. Yep. I get really excited to eat Indian curries with some meat. Meat curries, meat in them. So that's the first piece of our journey. We go then from Kochi. So we go to Kumakran. Kochi, we land there. Let me explain it. Kochi, I forget exactly how long that flight is. It's quite a distance though. It's like huge.
3 hours.
I think it's longer than that.
Yeah, 3 to 4 hours.
And then we drive about 2 hours. Oh, I've lost everything now. There we go. I've lost. And then we're going to Munnar. If I can do this. I don't know why Google Map looks like this. Here we go. So then we've got a cab that's going to take us into Munnar. And a drive. And so Munnar is where like the tea is. So if you are, what I'll tell you, a tip, if you're going to India, is not to say, can I have some chai tea? Because chai is tea, and you sound like an idiot. If you are, don't do that. And don't say, non-bread? Those are the two best tips I can give you as a Canadian going to India, or anyone going to India. And I mean, we watched a couple of videos about Munnar, and it just looks So cool. And I hope we can. So we're staying 5 days in Munnar. We're going to do 2 days in Kumakaran at this nice little stay, and then we're going here. And I really hope we can see, like what you said the other day was like tea plantations, but like on really high elevations, which is
Hills.
super cool.
Yeah, I think they were saying they have like the highest hills in the world. There's a point where it is. I don't want to say it wrong, but we were watching that, and we've been watching a lot of videos.
Yeah,
so.
I say a lot of wrong shit on here, so it's okay.
We'll correct that.
Mostly what I say is wrong.
Yeah.
So all good. And you know, I don't know. Something just calls to me about Munnar. I don't exactly know what it is.
About Kerala. So in India, the state is known as God's own land.
Oh.
That's the title that's given to this state. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It has beautiful backwaters and beaches and the hills. So it's just, nature is preserved in quite a beautiful form. So I'm excited about it as well.
And then the fun doesn't stop. The fun then continues.
It's gonna be a long video.
Yeah. Hey, of course it is. Come on, you know me, and now you're here too. So we've got Goa, India. So if we take this journey, I got too many things going on. Where did Goa go?
Goa should be.
I've lost it all. I thought I hit. Okay, go. There we go. Is that Goa? Doesn't seem
That's
like Goa
not
to
Goa.
me. Let's type in Candolim.
I mean, I see Kandalum right on top.
There we go. All right, beautiful. So that's like the city within Goa, or is it a city? Or what's going on there? It's like
Goa
a
is
subdivision.
A city. Yeah.
Okay,
that's
Goa.
what I would say.
Okay.
Goa is a city,
And-
and also a state.
Fun fact.
Yeah. What are these called? There's a term for that. Union territory.
I'll trust you.
Yeah.
I don't know. And so Goa is, the beautiful beach town, some of the best beaches in India, from my understanding. This is sort of like, I guess, sort of hippie reserve in India. A little bit of my understanding is like we'll see like Russians and like people from all over
It's a great tourist destination because it has a different culture. Like a little bit of history. This is where the Portuguese landed the first time. So the architecture is and everything else has influence from that, and it's a beach city. I would say it's a party city. It's relaxed and free, has different laws and regulations. So yeah, a lot of people go there to have a lot of fun.
And that's what we're gonna do. And so they were there for 10 days. Not 2. I'd be very sad if only 2. I feel 10. So I feel like our conversation has devolved a little bit from how to prepare to what we're excited about personally. But I think we're also sharing some of the best destinations that you could go in India. Like these were the top places that we looked
see in India
and recommended. One thing I'll add that was super interesting was that some of the places that we looked at, and I forget if it was Goa or if it was more Kerala, would not accept us because we're not a married couple, and actually some places didn't even accept tourists at all. So they had specified. So we were looking at booking.com. We recommend booking. We spend a lot of time.
Look into the policies and make sure it's couples friendly. And then if they don't like it, they should explicitly mention it. It's like unmarried couples not allowed. They would say that. And there were a lot of nice hotels that we stumbled upon which did not allow us, but and
they weren't just like you have to be married, you have to prove us with a marriage certificate. So like not getting by that with hey, we're married, so
be careful.
We can come. We continue on our journey. Where do we go after Goa? Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad.
Yeah. So this is where my other partner, Vatsal,
business partner.
Quite a group here, lives, and so he's returning home at the same time that we are.
As us.
I don't know much about Ahmedabad. It's what?
Well, it's not Ahmedabad, but I don't know much about it either. But fun facts: Modi's from Gujarat.
Gujarat.
Aha. Gandhi.
Modi.
Gandhi Ji. He was from Gujarat as well.
I didn't know that.
Gandhi.
Yeah.
There's
I didn't know Gujarat. No.
Yeah. So there's this
pride.
Yeah, there's that pride, and then there's a city called Gandhinagar. So all the Gandhis are from there. That's like a Gujarat, but that's pretty much I know. It's like it's close to a desert. There's a salt desert there as well.
Yes,
they do
the salt
stuff.
desert.
Yeah.
And he's going to the Statue of Unity. Is this big thing that he wants to go to?
Exactly. It's okay.
Which is new.
Yeah. So that's India's answer to Statue of Liberty.
Is that what it is? Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but Unity. Him, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He was a freedom fighter. So we've built a statue, and then I think it has an elevator which goes on the top, so you just get like a beautiful view.
We're gonna go there.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it looks massive.
I know it is massive. So I think it's slightly taller than Statue of Liberty because we wanted to surpass that.
Fuck you!
And we did it.
All right.
And I might be wrong, but I think this is what it is.
And so I can tell that this is already an extensive journey. There's been a lot of prep for this. I mean, how long have we been working on this? Probably
months. I think we started in summer. Summer is when we decided we were gonna go in the winters. Escape Canada,
which has been surprisingly warm.
So warm.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna escape snow, but that's how long we've been planning it for. Oh my god, how many flights? Back and forth.
Yeah, we have the whole trip.
Oh my god, 18
six at least. Six flights because they have internal flights. Mm-hmm. And I mean, India has a pretty robust travel infrastructure. That's like one thing I've noticed. Lots of airports internally with flights and flights that you can get. I mean, we missed on some of them, but like $50 for flights. And then also, and I'll add that in the link, is Redbus, which was where we... Redbus? Redbus was the, mostly one of the bigger, I guess the biggest sort of travel bus company in India. So there's a couple spots that there's not really air travel connection. And so we think we're taking this. That's still dissuading us, but I think this is...
$10.
Exactly. $10, but what? So 700 rupees is about $10-12 Canadian, depending...
And it's an experience. We're doing flight. Where are you gonna do metro? And then I think we should do one bus and maybe try a train if it fits.
I'd like the train. I like the train. I like the bus. And I think that part of what you talked about is like how amazingly diverse the experiences you can have in India. So you might as well travel diverse ways too, and just have
sticking to your
And something I like about. I mean, flying is really cool, and seeing below, but it's something you've experienced a place when you drive through it.
That's true.
Like a train.
And that's why I'm excited about our drive from Kochi to Munnar.
Yes.
It's going to be like a 4 to 5 hour drive, and it's on the hills, and it's just...
And then, we'll report back if we make it through. And then we've got, I think, 2 more stops, and then we're circling back to Delhi. So Udaipur. So we go from Ahmedabad to Udaipur, and then we go Jaipur, and then so we're making this sort of nice. It's a pretty nice route, I do say. So through, and this to me, City of Lakes?
City of Lakes, Udaipur.
And this looks absolutely. We unfortunately we're not staying here.
But we'll go there.
Yeah, we'll go there.
Have a dinner maybe.
And this is we're here over Valentine's, which is nice, and I'm gonna say I love you, and it's gonna be beautiful, and we also what I liked is that we watched all these videos. We did include a link to Tripoto. We watched a bunch of their videos. There's specific ones on India, and you can see Goa and a couple places. We like their videos because it sort of broke it down into the things you need to know. And one of the things that was great to hear was we're traveling at the perfect time.
Yes,
basically.
Yeah, because India gets really hot in summertime. So what people do in summer, they travel up north.
Yes.
That's the best place to travel. Yeah. And then in winter, travel south because it's warmer.
Yeah. It starts to get hot when?
It starts in April. April. Early, March is when it turns and April starts to warm up. And then May, June, July. And then there's
35,
also not monsoon.
45.
Yeah. I mean, Vatsal was there.
He was sweating. I saw him sometimes on the call, just I don't want to be there. So when preparing your trip, making sure that you're more going from what? Yes.
September
to February? Would that be, or September too early?
Yeah, September. Yeah, I think that's a good timeline because like that's when monsoon stops. Like August and July are heavy on monsoon, so it's like a rainfall, and you probably don't want to be stuck in, not the best infrastructure to support monsoon in some places. I would say, but September, yeah.
What's monsoon season? What is it? Is it in all of India? Is it raining all the time, or
yes,
just
so
certain
it travels.
regions?
So it starts from the south. And goes. I think it does cover Delhi and then goes to the west, like
so you've been part of monsoon season.
Oh yeah, everybody is. Wow. It just rains. It pours. The rain here is nothing.
I remember when we first started dating, I saw this meme about like preparing to India travel thing, and it was just a couple things, but all umbrellas. It was just like, oh yeah,
umbrellas. Yeah, umbrellas, mosquito nets.
Exactly.
Chai.
Yeah, actually, that's one thing we didn't touch on was when you're preparing for the trip, sort of like vaccines and things like that. So we ended up going to get a consultation with the travel clinic, or the doctor that I tried to extract free vaccines from wouldn't give them to me. So you're most likely your main doctor is not going to do this. You're going to have to go to a travel clinic. We went to this one in London, Ontario while we were back visiting, and it was about $60 for the consultation. About 250, I think, bucks for me. I had to get hepatitis A.
Yeah,
and I think that was different, but tinnitus and not tinnitus.
You got rabies, tetanus. You got hepatitis,
and
then
more.
One more.
Dephora.
They mix it up into.
What's
that?
Okay, well,
they'll tell you.
I'll put it in the links in the comments, but there are a couple things. The other recommendations.
Diarrhea. No. Typhoid.
Yeah.
It was typhoid.
Typhoid. Okay.
Typhoid fever.
Yes. So, and then the other one, the recommendation was malaria pills.
Yes.
Which, and especially maybe more down south where we're going in Kerala, is sort of recommended.
And in monsoon season, in the season where it rains, so it's probably okay.
They had that hot spot. They had the map that she showed us. I'll try to find that, but you said it wasn't accurate.
No. I mean, it might change, but the thing is, it's seasonal. There are like seasonal things, like high risk in monsoon or summer.
I don't think this query is going to pull it up. I was trying to find, because it was a really nice like visualization.
She told us the map. CDC. What was it? CDC?
Fit for travel. I think
it was. That's correct.
Oh wow, we found it. Okay. Wow, smart people. Such good Googlers. This was not the exact map, but it was somewhat.
I think it was like she asked us to go to Asia, search South Asia.
South Asia.
She asked us to search. Like you could search there maybe, or maybe click on Asia. I mean, this is India.
Asia East, or is
We're in India. We're in India.
Yeah, I mean it's right there. All right, we're gonna take it. I'm gonna just.
Why are you saying this is not accurate? Because I remember.
I thought it was a little more interactive, but okay.
Click on it. Maybe it is.
That was why. It was bigger.
Because she presented on a big screen.
Okay. Well, come on. Anyways, we move on. Get your vaccines.
Get your vaccines.
And consider malaria, especially if you're going to these, I guess, a couple areas. And you said think about the seasons that you're there, because like monsoon season, it's going to be a little different than maybe what is showing here. We then close off our trip. I think it probably blows Monica's mind that I could talk this long, but I do it every day.
It does not blow my mind. Okay. I've seen you for 2 years.
Yeah, that's true. And this is the last stop. We might go to Agra to see Taj Mahal.
Yeah, of course.
But this was our last scheduled trip that is sort of like outside of Delhi. That is not. So this is the Udaipur and Jaipur. Beautiful. Are both part of Rajasthan.
Yes.
And Rajasthan is one of the oldest areas in India. Most beautiful sort of, like this fort
Palaces
is one of the older.
And forts and rich history, and then, temples and architecture and food. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And so we sort of had that experience. We went to Portugal in November, and I think you sort of saw that I did not get bored of looking at sort of castles and old architecture, and that made you sort of happy. And we're like, okay, then we have to go to these two places because there's just so much. Is that Jaipur or that's Udaipur?
That's still Jaipur. Jaipur has that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's also very excited about that. And then we close off at that point. We go back to Delhi, spend some time in Delhi. That whole trip probably, I don't know the exact, is around 30 days, almost 30 days, maybe 25 days.
Yeah, I think it's 30 days because we start on the Jan 22nd and then we come back Feb 20th. So
Yeah,
it's
30
days.
a full month exploring India, a lot of travel.
A lot of travel, but good travel.
Good
like
travel.
We have nice accommodations and.
Yeah, and I think because you and I are both huge celebrities, we don't want to share the exact places that we're staying at. But after the trip, we'll maybe share out some of that.
Yeah.
We got I personally, I don't know about you, got inspired by a couple of the videos that we watched, and also felt like that maybe I could possibly record some of the. I don't know if it's going to be as much as that, as like record while we're there, and then maybe take some footage like when we're there to see if we can share some experiences. For me it's I guess a fish out of water kind of idea. I guess one thing I'd love you to just talk about, I know we're going long on this, it would be the you've told me, many people have told me this, you specifically, is like the I've seen it in videos, like how Indian people treat white people who go.
They love them.
Okay, there we go. Okay, that's not good. Yeah.
I think Indian people love white people. They like to see foreigners, and then maybe a little too much love.
Selfies.
Take a selfie and do this. And
so where's that selfie going?
Well, to their friends, they'll brag about it. It's like, oh, I saw a white man today. Look at this. I have a proof too.
What's the word? Goda.
Goda.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you gonna say something in Hindi to them? Like, I think you should do, like, as soon as somebody approaches you, just start speaking fluently in Hindi to them.
So so that's one point on here, is the Hindi journey. If you're preparing to go to India, the level of fluency that you need. Now, there are not most people, but a lot of the population speaks English that you're going to be interacting with.
Yes, and South more specifically, like South is like, well educated and blah blah blah. So, and you wouldn't be able to talk to them in Hindi to begin with, because they have their own languages. Not many South Indian people know Hindi, but they are really good, and most of them are good in English. Even if they're not good in English, everybody in India, I think, understands the basic words, like stop, go, come, do, bus, train. Like, if I think with English you can survive in India, especially like when you go to Delhi, everybody speaks English or understands like basic. Like if you say things slowly, they would understand.
And there's a lot of English used interchangeably in Hindi.
Like if you go to my family, you'll see them. It would never be like a pure Hindi sentence. There would be some English words thrown into it, so you would be able to pick up at least what the conversation is about. But in Delhi you could survive without Hindi. In South you could survive without Hindi. English would work even better. But it's just like there are some regions where the literacy is not that they don't understand English. So I think there are just some phrases which could take you a long way. Just like do the things that you need, which I mean most tourists do when you go to a place where they do not speak your language, and you should be okay.
And I have slowly been working my way through Duolingo. I'm on 110 days almost. So 110 days. So if you do want to go, I think anytime you go somewhere, like it's worthwhile to try to learn a little bit of the language. And so I've been using Duolingo, and then recently I stumbled onto Google Translate. I knew about Google Translate, but had a lot of fun last night. And so I'm saving up phrases that I might want to know. And I find with Duolingo, it's really good for learning, and it's helped me a lot with the structure of the sentences and stuff. But it's sometimes when I'm like, I just want to know how to say this. Like that's more, ideally you have more flexible application of language than the way that Duolingo is teaching you. Like I'm not going to talk about a black cat over and over and over again, kind of thing. So that, and then I'm going to use Google Translate while I'm there. And I'm super excited for that part. And my, overall thought is just like, India continues to grow, continues to be a world force. Siding with the growing. Exactly. So we will I guess we'll try to wrap this up. What a couple rapid fire questions for you here. I just killed it. So what are you most excited about for the trip back?
See my family.
Beautiful. Nice
And
answer. Hope the family sees
Cover
that.
it up. And Kerala. I've never been there. Like
Cool.
Goa I've been to, Udaipur I've been to, but Kerala I'm really excited about.
Most nervous.
My family and this guy.
Same answer. Yeah. Ask me the same questions.
Oh, okay, wow. What are you most excited about?
Your family.
And the true answer.
And it's honestly hard to. I was really pumped about Munnar and Goa, but something about Udaipur, like the lake, like when we were watching that video and some of those pictures. And we both fall in love with sunsets.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's
It's
Valentine's
gonna
Day.
be-
And,
I know,
like
it's Valentine's Day, and it's like one of the most romantic cities and history. And then I remember, like, we did not have Rajasthan originally in our list, and then we went to Portugal, and I saw how you fell in love with the palaces and the history, and I just thought it's going to be a good experience for you. That's
we also
why.
watched Padmavati.
And we,
And I was like, what's going on here?
I showed you Padmavati,
Yeah.
and then
I was like, we gotta go.
we gotta go.
Yeah. And
And
most nervous. Family, also as well. I think Delhi still makes me the most nervous. Also the pollution parts.
Yes. And
I'm
it's peak time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was around Diwali. It was peaking, fireworks and the subtle burning in the north. Has come down a little bit, but it's the fog, right? The fog does not let any pollution in the environment go, escape anywhere. So it just like gets mixed in the air. So it gets difficult to breathe. And I am asthmatic.
Yeah, and I don't know what I am, but I'm not good. Whatever it is, both of us are
low lung capacity.
Low lung capacity, small bladders, and those are two things we found out together. We brought into a relationship. Those will bonds. All of it holds us together, and those will be. I hope not detriments too much when we're there. I guess I still don't know if this is going to be the title of the video. Originally it was how to prepare for your first trip to India. Do you feel like we've covered those bases? Is there other things that...
I
flights,
think so. Flights,
vaccines. Prices a bit. The $2,500 flight. Yeah. Sort of like we range from like...
Packing. Did you cover packing?
No, good question.
Am I prepared?
How are you? How's your packing going?
Not good. 1 week away. The thing is, like, pack obviously your essentials. You cannot survive without laptop, computer, and blah blah blah. But don't pack too heavy because, as I said, India is cheap. Don't pack 15 t-shirts if you think you're gonna need them, because in India you could buy them a lot cheaper than you would in the country. So because like I'm planning to do a lot of shopping like when I go back. So that's why I'm carrying empty bags mostly.
Full empty. And we get 2 big bags plus a carry-on plus a backpack on the way there. The internal flights we don't get as much. You only get 1 carry-on and then 1 15 kg bag. So but on that way back you're gonna stuff it with as much as possible.
Stuff it in.
And I don't know what's going on. I went to Burning Man last year, and if I felt like if I didn't pack something, I was going to die. And here I don't feel that way.
You wouldn't,
there's things around.
Yeah, you're in Delhi. You would have access to anything you need. So just think of things which are, only available in the country that you live. Otherwise, and then things which are too expensive. You don't want to go back to India and buy an iPhone. Bad idea. But yeah, just pack light essentials only, and
And overall, I don't know, it's a little skewed, the data, but we found pretty good accommodations from like Canadian wise. Like, I mean, the low end was like $27.
In Delhi?
I don't know if we took $27 a night.
No.
I don't think we went quite that low on anything more. But we ended up like maybe 65.
But that's because long duration of time.
Long duration of time.
But it would have been possible if you wanted to, because there are accommodations which could be as cheap. But as we talked about it, we're going in a season which is touristy in those places. So if you were going some other time, it could have been way lower. But we're going peak tourist season.
And we chose to also do some pretty nice places while we're there.
Yes.
Yeah. So we didn't go. we didn't do hostels and things like that. We got nice places.
Yeah, but if you're backpacking, I think
do it pretty inexpensively. It'd be fun.
Really, you could do hostels because like you'll get to meet a lot of people from other
Yeah,
countries and even from India. So it's like a good experience.
Well, we're
to
not
do.
those people anymore,
We're
right? We're
not.
what are we? We're White Lotus.
White Lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel we did pretty good here. First, Monica. If Monica did a good job, give her some love. I appreciate her doing this very much. We planned to do it for a while. It's a hard thing to do. You came on here and you talked. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
I love you. Our dog. Let's just bring him in first.
Oh, do not.
He's here. He's a little rat boy right now.
I'm ashamed too much.
We love him so much. He is. If you have a dog, if you have a pet, unfortunately, probably not take them to India. It's a huge flight. So luckily, we have some good friends. Yawning. Have some good friends that can
that are taking care
take care of him. So you're going to need that if you're going to go on a trip. And obviously, that's a sad part for this journey here. Okay, well, let's end this with love to you. If you're on your trip to India, we hope that you learn something from this.
And if you've been to India, give us some tips.
Wow, no, she's a YouTuber. All right, love you guys. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful rest of your day.